trust the process,
Yeah.
but not only the process, trust the oh, I'm a little uncomfortable, trust the ideas, right? And trust us to do just like you would your attorney or your dentist or anything else. We've been doing this for a long, long time. And I think it's important for clients to remember to trust their agencies and to trust the ideas they're bringing to the table and trust their expertise. And I think sometimes that doesn't always happen.
All right, we're
We're
back,
back.
Rob. We're back.
We're back.
We're back. We never went anywhere. All right, we're back with episode 142. We're creeping up on 150. Are we going to do something celebratory for 150?
Oh, big plans.
You know,
Oh, yes.
150 is when we should have done the video. We should have kicked in on the video on 150. That would have been
I don't
a
know.
nice
140 felt like the
numerology.
right number to me to the video.
Just started early, right?
Yeah. Give the people what they want. I mean, they've been begging for it for so long that,
Mhm.
you
No,
know,
man. I'm okay with that. All right, 142. All right, I thought today's topic could be something interesting as we're jamming away, and everybody at work, jamming like they got some frustrations here, they got some frustrations there, or this person or that person or whatever. No matter what industry you're in, right? So thought today could be kind of fun to do a like, hey, tips for being a better client, tips for being like how to work with agencies and what kind of frustrates agencies on our side of the fence, right? And what maybe we wish they knew. That's the longest title for a podcast ever.
yes.
But that might be search engine friendly because it's got every word in a word salad there for that,
Yeah. We're
So
going to tread carefully into this topic.
yeah, just
We're going to
a
tread,
little like
just sort of tiptoe around
yeah,
and yeah.
yeah. It's not full. Well, hey, we're not calling any of our clients out. We're not going to name anything and things like that, right? But
No.
it's you know we've got some gray in our beards now, and we've been doing this a while, and things have changed, right? I mean, in terms of not only how advertising and design is consumed out in the world, right? But we've changed, clients have changed, account people have changed, like the whole industry has kind of slowly evolved, right? And there are definitely some things about working in 2025, dare I say, that are totally different than working when we both first started, right? And it's not just the advent of digital cameras and things like that, right? So it's like, oh man, I wish that people would think this, or we do have some old trusty dusties in terms of how we were brought up, right? And I wish these young whippersnappers, would do it this way or that way. You know what I mean? Any type
Yeah.
of weird little frustrations like that. So anyway, I'll go first, since I kind of brought this one up, I think a tip number one, bump, drum roll, would be, I wish that I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid here. I do wish that clients more often than not would think contextually,
Mm.
right, about the designs, the ads, the whatever that we send them over the fence, right? Everybody is working digitally. We're all working remote basically now. We all sit in our computer, like it's gone are the days where we go into a conference room and we got boards and we're going through all that stuff, right? I mean, everything's faster and this and that, right? So as such, we're basically sending PDFs around. We're looking at Google slide decks, we're doing presentations, things like that, right? But everything is a one-to-one relationship now, right? Meaning I look at it on my laptop, or I look at it on my phone, I look at it on my screen, right? And what I mean by contextually is I may be looking at a 20-foot long trade show booth. I may be looking at a business card or something that, is postage sized,
Business
right?
card? What is that?
What's that?
What's a
Business
business?
card. Oh, yeah. Who knows? We just tap phones now. Um, so I think, it's funny. We get feedback back from clients like, oh, hey, can you put a logo here? Oh, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? It's like, yeah, of course we can do that. But you're not thinking contextually about, oh, that is
Should we
sitting on a
should we
counter.
do that?
Yeah, exactly. Should we do that? Yes, there is, we can put a logo there, but that logo is down there at your ankles, right? Because you're just looking at a flat design as a PDF, things like that,
Right.
right? So there's a little bit of extra hand-holding now, it seems like there didn't really necessarily used to be in regards to contextual thinking, right? And I know, hey, we're all busy, we're all running around a million miles an hour, but that is, I don't know if it's call it a pet peeve, but it's definitely like, hey, when you're internalizing things, right, or when you're reviewing things from a client perspective, yeah, it might be nice to think about utilization and also where it's going to be, right? Is it in the grocery store next to the competitors? Is it, things like that, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Do we have specific examples?
well,
I would have
uh,
to name names, but I'll start. Like you mentioned trade show booths,
yeah,
right? Or
yeah,
or pull up banners, things like that.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Apparently, trade shows still exist.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
Right.
yeah, you do. You sometimes you show a client a first pass at a booth or a banner or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you very purposefully keep the bottom 3 or 4 feet
Mhm.
clean. We're not
Devoid.
putting copy down there, right,
Yeah,
at the floor. And then they go, "Well, wait a minute, why did we only design the top, you
yeah,
know, 3/4 or top third of or 2/3 of the thing?" And you have to remind them, "Well, no one's looking down at the ground and
yeah,
reading bullet points on your
yeah.
banner stand." Uh,
Also, your kiosk is in front of that
yeah,
information, or the table is, or people are gonna put their book bags down and things like that, right? I mean, that's a great example of contextual thinking, you know?
right.
Um, yeah, I mean, other stuff would be grocery stores, we design a lot of packaging that goes in
Mhm.
grocery stores. We do a lot of point of sale merchandising and things like that, in liquor stores, grocery stores, retail environments, right? Um, yeah, it doesn't matter what the back of the shipper carton looks like, whatever, because no one ever sees it ever. Like those type, or like it's sandwiched on shelf next to all these
Yeah.
other things, right? You know, sure, we'll throw a logo on the side of the thing. No, like it's no one's ever going to see that type of thing, So yeah, I think context is important, and I think when you look at something that's a beautiful high resolution PDF on your 13-inch laptop, you do lose a little bit of the context and you have to kind of be reminded, I guess, if that makes any sense. So,
Yeah, and I think that holds true for campaign work too, right? So
yeah,
like when we pitch ideas, it's important for clients to think about, which is why we go through the exercise of like the competitive landscape, right? Like, oh, here are all the other ads, here's what everybody else is
yeah,
doing in your competitive set. Well, oftentimes you forget that because then you're shown concepts in a vacuum potentially,
yeah,
and it's, "Oh, I love this idea," and it's like, "Okay, well, let's think about what everybody else is doing and make sure that we're zigging where they're zagging, or we're zagging where they're
yeah,
zigging, or whatever it is." But just I think, making sure that what you're doing is unique, right?
yeah,
To your service or product, right?
yeah. I totally agree. Totally agree. What's on the top of your list? It's a number one sort of context, right? What are you thinking on your side?
Well, I think what I'm gonna say is, a little bit contrary to where you started, which
Uh
is,
oh, I
yeah,
like it.
things have changed and
Controversy.
and things have evolved, but there's certain things that stay the same, right? And so here's
Yeah,
here's what I mean by that. Um, and this is gonna sound obvious, but when you go to get a root canal with those teeth of yours, where
yeah.
where do you go? When you go to the root canal specialist, right? You trust them to do their job.
Okay.
I think a lot of times, marketing directors or marketing teams, they, again, and we always say that we have the most fun. We have the most fun jobs. It's creative, creative, creative. And so I think oftentimes marketing departments kind of get sucked into that fun, creative space, which isn't to
Okay.
say that ideas can't come from there. They can,
Sure.
but it's important, I think, for clients to let agencies do what they do best.
Mm,
Um, Trust the process,
yeah.
but not only the process, trust the, "Oh, I'm a little uncomfortable," trust the ideas, right? And
Yeah.
trust us to do just like you would your attorney or your
Yeah.
dentist or anything else. We've been doing this for a long, long time, and I think it's important for clients to remember to trust their agencies and to
Yeah.
trust the ideas they're bringing to the table, and trust their expertise. And I think sometimes that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the amount of sometimes revisions we get back where they've taken the artwork and cut it up and rearranged it and done whatever, and it's like you're not the art director. Why would you do that? Right? I mean, it's like,
Right.
can we do that for you? Sure. Here's why that's a bad idea. Will we do that for you? Absolutely. We'll take a look at it. Because to your point, Rob, like great ideas can come from anywhere, and you never know. But also, yeah, the hierarchy of information layout, proportion, design, all that stuff, should kind of come from a, professional that's been doing this for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So I do
Yeah.
remember that does remind me, like we did a logo project a million years ago for the library out in Richmond, California. Do you remember this?
I do.
And busted our hump on doing this library logo, which is like the library logo. It sounds like the most boring project ever. Anyway, did all this stuff. To your point, this is along your point of great ideas come from God knows where, though, right? Just play devil's advocate. We got this note back on like, hey, can you do this, that? And I just remember being like, what the like librarians now are coming in hot with art direction, Damn if that didn't it wasn't the idea that came from them, but it's what led to the next
Yeah.
steps,
Yeah.
right? That ended up being like, you know what? Shit, that's actually it ended up like turning and was like, wow, this is actually a really interesting idea. Not directly from the note, but it was, yeah, it's a weird one, man. We're in a tough industry because everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's got stylistic, preconceived notions of what they like, right?
Yeah.
But to bring it back to my context, just because you like it doesn't mean it's appropriate for your target audience because you're the brand manager of XYZ company. That doesn't mean that it's actually for you. It's for
Yeah.
your consumers. Um, doing websites and stuff like that. It's funny. It's like, hey, the website's not for the company, it's for
Yeah.
the consumers of that company, you know what I mean? And trying to get people to kind of wrap their brain around that. It's like, "Whoa," it's kind of funny. So,
I remember the poster we did for Richmond Library, which is great.
yeah.
It's actually hanging up here.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The Find Everything poster, which was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
It's actually a good reminder because it goes the other way too, meaning agencies need to be receptive
Yeah,
to ideas, right? And kernels of ideas. And
yeah,
I've had a few cases, you know, over the years where it's absolutely happened where I've been working on something and writing something and whatever it is, and talked to the client about it, and then specifically gotten an email that was like, well, what about this? And it was like
yeah,
a line that somebody had
yeah,
written from, not a writer,
yeah, yeah,
a client. And it was like, oh, wow, that's actually really, really good.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you win. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and to
yeah,
be able to embrace that and go and
yeah,
see that, you know what, this is actually a really good idea. Now I'm going to take it and
yeah,
massage it and make it better. Or there've been instances where that's it. I can't, like, you nailed it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I think that just sort of speaks to when agency client relationships are going really well, you have that open line of communication where
totally.
you can spitball ideas back and forth, and everybody's okay with not having their idea go forward, and you're just open to that, and that's where it just fosters more creativity, better ideas, different perspectives, all of
Yeah,
the things,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's funny. Sometimes you do go all the way around the circle with revisions just to end up back where you started. And it's a
Yeah.
little bit of like, see? Like,
Yeah. We call that.
we kinda nailed it to begin with, but then it went from category manager to brand manager to this to blah, 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 all the way and it's like, we do kinda know what we're talking about? Um,
Yeah, it's
but
called going around your ass to get to your elbow
yeah,
is
totally,
how we
totally.
affectionately refer to it.
That's funny. Any other weird little, thoughts or tips or whatnot for clients? I mean, you know, we could say, this isn't a bitch sesh on clients by any stretch, but,
I
in
think
the
that
interest well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, I just one other thought. I think it's again, and this has happened since the dawn of advertising times, but I think it's important for clients to remember that they've got to find something unique about what they are
Mm,
saying or
yeah,
communicating, right? Be it their product or their service. Sometimes you'll get a brief or even a verbal brief or a conversation. It's like, and we
yeah,
have to keep go. Well, wait a minute, but everybody else can say this. Everybody else can say, when it's not a commodity product. Like even
yeah,
even when it is a commodity product, you got to find something that is unique and ownable. Otherwise, you're
peace.
just going to be diluted and watered down. So
Yeah,
that's just a good reminder to think, and it's not easy to do that
yeah,
oftentimes, but you gotta be different. You gotta have something unique um, to talk about, really.
yeah, otherwise it's just a me too. Why us versus somebody
Right.
else? And then you just commoditize yourself and it becomes about, price to a certain extent, so, um, yeah, it's a weird one. It's funny. Every client that we work with, there are always custom solutions, right? I mean, what we do is kind of intellectual brain power specifically engineered for their communication challenges, right? So
Yeah.
it isn't, we're kind of the opposite of what our clients do. Our clients like make something and then they make this thing over and over and over and over, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we're trying to figure out how to sell that, but we
Right.
can't take what we apply to one company and use it for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't, well, you can do that, but you probably shouldn't do that, right?
Right.
Because there are unique challenges for each individual client, which makes working with each individual client kind of uniquely challenging in and of itself, as tongue twistery as that is, So, yeah, it's a fun. We picked a fun industry to work in, for sure. But it's interesting how it's changed over the last however many years, and the nuances, I guess, thereof. You know what I mean, in terms of getting communication out in the world. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would just wrap by saying, thankfully, this pertains to none of our clients, which is great. We've been very fortunate that,
Yeah.
all of our clients are amazing and perfect. But
Mhm.
for you other agencies struggling out there with difficult
Yeah,
clients, this is for you
absolutely.
to think about.
Absolutely.
All right, very good. Well, where can the people find us, Don, if they happen to be looking for us?
I don't know, there's probably on the screen somewhere here, or there, or wherever, I'm not quite sure. No, everybody can find us at mocktheagency.com or on all the socials at Mock the Agency. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll hit you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you for 143.
It's gonna be
Bye.
exciting.